Hey y'all, it's Crafty Little Bee. I have a journal here for you that I just got done making for my friend Scott at work. Um, he is into pinup and like 50s kind of style, so I tried to keep that in mind with this. I've never made a cover with just fabric before, so that was something new and interesting. I'm happy with how it turned out. And it just has a little tie closure. I just started using Fabri-Tac glue, so that's what I use to hold the patches in place on the front cover. I had actually purchased this fabric before, just I liked it. It's a whole, I've got a lot of it. It reminded me of like a duffel bag that they used in the army. So that's actually what inspired me to make this book. I wanted to make I guess a um, vintage book with like an army feel, and Scott's my good friend, and so I made this for him. Little library card I made out of some other material. It's like a denim type of material, but it's got like that tan color, kind of like army fatigues. And I don't actually think that I make junk journals. None of my um, supplies are junk mail or trash or anything like that, but so I don't think that I make actual junk journals true to the word, but I just think of it as you put your junk in this journal. So I'm gonna stick to calling them junk journals, even though I don't think that I'm using the term properly. I received a lot of this paper that I used in this from Mel Smell, so I just want to say thank you, Mel Smell, and hi, Mel Smell. I made a little collage here out of a book page, has a little bit of water damage done to it. And this came out of a calendar that my mom had at her house and all of her craft stuff. And so I just fussy cut that out and did some layering and collaging. And I made this little embellishment on this paper clip. Just a little button I sewed on there. And this is actually a fold out. Some paper for writing in, because I tend to overdo the pages. This is an advertisement for Camel cigarettes. It came out of a Life magazine. I want to say it was from the 30s or 40s, the Life magazine was. And I did another little button on this paper clip. Some more cigarette advertising, a little bit of collaging on this vellum here. So I like that you can see the skull through there. This is just a little postcard. And I like this guy a lot. He goes well with this lady who's further on in the book. This is just some ephemera that I got from a thrift store, and it was I got like 4 different packages, and they were all really, really cool paper and cutouts and tags and whatnot. So I really scored on that stuff. This is just a dog tag that I found at a thrift store. Whenever I know whenever I have a journal in mind, and I have a lot of journals in mind, I always keep an eye out while I'm thrifting for supplies for my journals. And sometimes they just find me, and sometimes I'm able to just luck out and find something that day, like that's the theme I'm going for in a book. So that's really fun when that happens. This is a charm made by another co-worker, Gigi Grindstad. I made a book for her, the Birds in Space. Made a little traveler's notebook for her. So this is just a little fish hook and a little fishing lure and some turquoise She's one of our favorites up where I work, so I know Scott will appreciate that little dangle made from her, Gigi. You can check her out on Gigi Grindstad Art on Instagram. And this is actually a postcard given to me by Scott, the person I made the book for. And he gave me a bunch of smoking cigarette postcards. So I put one in there for him. This little rat fink guy is cool. There's a couple of things in here that Gigi did. And here's the other part of that lady that looks so great with that gentleman there. And she also goes really well with this fellow here. Like, I wanted this page to be kind of like a Dear John, letters back and forth kind of thing. Typewriter here at the front. That's just a stamp. And then I did some fun stuff with washi tape on there. Some collaging. Oh, those rub-on transfers are really fun. I really love them. I've got a couple of Graphic 45 packets, I believe it is. And I think it is Graphic. Oh, Architecture. 7 Gypsies. These are rub-on transfers. They are so cool. It comes on a big sheet of basically transfer paper. And you just cut out whatever you want to use on your page. And then just rub it on with a popsicle stick or whatever. Pretty cool. I made this little folder pocket and put a postcard in there so he would know what that's actually a pocket. And this was some the packaging that my aunt's cigarette filters come in. So I snatched that up and brought it home with me. And I used it in his book. I think it's a pretty cool little hot rod. And then this postcard. I got some washi stickers on Wish. And they were actually pinup girls. And I kept the packaging from all of the packets that I bought. I bought like 5 or 6. And this is one of the packaging in those. And this is actually a sticker that he can use wherever he wants. This is ephemera from the fold out that comes in a CD. It's a perfect circle. And I've never done something like this before, because like I said, I tend to over embellish and overdo it on the pockets, and I put something in every pocket, and I don't really leave room for the person, the book holder, to put their own stuff in there. So I thought that I would put this signature in that's just paper. So he can write on any of the pages that are in here, and then if he wants to write, you know, longer stuff, he can put it in this paper here. And I also made this into a little envelope in case there's tiny things that he's afraid are going to fall out of the pockets or whatever. He can put them in the little envelope. I want to add that I think this is the first time I've ever been at a proper table to do one of my craft videos. I think that usually I have a little makeshift thing set up where I have all these boxes stacked up on top of each other, and then some bars that help hold my camera, and I sit on the ground, which is difficult to see what you're doing visually on the camera and down here, and make sure everything is in place and whatnot. So what a luxury to be at a proper table. Moving on up. Anyhow, I did just try to do minimal collage stamping on this signature because I didn't want the pages to be too boring. And this is actually some paper that I had dyed with cabbage water. I had tried a little technique that I saw on YouTube, but it ended up not working out, and instead of the paper being blue, it just turned this yellow color. All of the paper that I tried it with this certain technique. So I ditched all that water and just ended up using the regular cabbage water. And it still turned blue. my friend Chantel LePage from Red Page Cafe on Instagram, she also did the same thing, and she said you don't have to add anything special in there. Just dip it in the cabbage water and it'll turn all sorts of different shades. And she was absolutely correct. So thanks for that tip, Chantel. Because yeah, they turned like blue and green and purple and pink, all these crazy, and it was fun because every page was a different adventure, something different, a different color and a different pattern. Like I like when it bubbles up like that. So that was a little fun thing, and I know that all the kids are home from school right now, so it might be fun to do a little experiment with them if you can get your hands on some cabbage. You just really need to boil it for like 20 minutes is what I did. Cover it with water, chop it up at little pieces, and then cover it with water. And I put the rest of what I didn't use in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. And it's stinky, but that's also what's fun about, you know, doing different experiments, is sometimes they're not always pleasant to touch or pleasant to smell. It might be ugly to look at one point, so that's just all part of the fun, I think. This is the last signature, and I had a book about pinups. I think it was about the Flirt magazine. So I cut her out of there and did this like a little peep show kind of pocket with an envelope, a bill envelope, and just put her on a piece of cute paper. I did some collaging on the side with some fake money. Nope, that's real money. All of that's real money. Little bits and pieces that I find when I'm working in the lemonade stand during the summer. This says, "You are safe with our blanket of security." It's some more of that A Perfect Circle CD booklet. Don't worry, she doesn't know anything. And don't be concerned, stick to your daily routine, which is the exact opposite of what we're doing right now. And this is just a playing card. I was going to jazz it up and put some, make it like an altered playing card, but it's just too cool on its own. I didn't want to mess with it at all. Even putting vellum on there, which I didn't want to do anything with it. Another little postcard, and this is some, I just had this page, the boat, the ship, so I put that on there. I told him, I don't know that any of this necessarily goes together properly, but it all looks good together. So I did some more collaging on the side of this page with some more stickers. And I found these, I actually got these little paper clips on a shirt that my husband had gotten. And I just thought they were really neat, and a strange, unusual little tag holder. This is like a tattoo type page with the Norman Rockwell guy tattooing the other gentleman. I did some stamping on here. So I went with the tattoo theme with this postcard. And some more, like I said, Gigi's art was also, you know, going to be later in the book. And this is her, this is actually on transfer paper, and then I just glued it to a piece of vellum. And I made a little triple stack tuck tag out of this. This is just from a tattoo magazine. And some more of Gigi's moths. And Scott collects lighters and likes lighters a lot, so I put that guy in there. Went perfectly with the tattoo theme. And this little library type pocket. And then Scott's dad is in the Navy, and his grandfather was in the Air Force. So I tried to, as much as I did know about those things, tried to put as much as I could of that in here. And I thought that was really cute. Goes well with the Pinup Gal. And then some more of that calendar, and I just did some collaging on a food ticket. Use this little CD holder to make her a little pocket. And then this came out of, what year? Okay, this Sears Roebuck Fall 1909 book, and it's just all advertisement, you know. So I took some of the guns out of there, some more on this page. So you got multiple selections here of which gun he wants to buy. 3074 for that one there. Crazy talk. And then some collaging, another little rat fink looking guy, a stamp, and this fellow here, and then some more embellishments on the paper clip. And I love these fat little chubby paper clips. And on this page I just did some collaging with guns, different types of guns, firearms, and these stickers that I got off of Wish, and this clear plastic pocket. I probably bought some, you know, bought something in it, and the plastic was so stiff and sturdy that I kept it so I could make a pocket out of it. Here's the center of that, the last signature, and a little dynamite stick that I made. That's actually why I have this tattoo here, is because of this domino that I made with that on there. 9 years ago I made these, so I hang on to things for a little while. I don't know if you can see that well. Little pinup girl. You can see her through the bottle. And then this came out of that same Time magazine book that the cigarette advertisement was in. This gal came out of like a Juxtapose magazine or High Fructose, one of the two. Got some weird stickers on Wish. That Mary Jane journal that I made, this is part of those weird what the heck stickers. And I just made a little fold out like matchbook kind of tuck tag for that guy. Or what is it good for? I can't remember what magazine that came out of, but I've had that for a while. And then almost done with the book here. I think these 2 pages are my favorite back to back. I like how the colors go in here, and I just like these pages a lot. The black and white, and then all the army kind of greens and browns go well together. And I made this little page holder. It doesn't hold anything other than it looking cool. And then Peace on Earth. And the back of it actually also says peace. Pretty cool. This is French Paper Company. I've bought. I haven't been around humans in a couple of weeks. I had bought a couple of things from the French Paper Company at that Austin Creative Reuse store that I go to. I've mentioned in my past videos. And I was able to find this little clipping of this guy. Looks like a real hard ass. And I did this collaging of this cute lady. It's called Ankles Away. And some collaging in a glassine bag. And this time card. I thought it went well with this time book piece of paper. And I love how proper these animals look. So, and they're like, you know, manly, like this guy. And some more fabric. I wouldn't call that collaging, but there's the back. And then it just ties with these little ribbons. All right, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed my 50s wartime pinup journal. I hope everybody is doing well and keeping yourselves occupied. And if you're not, then now's the best time to pick up a new hobby. Y'all take care. I appreciate you watching. Bye.